We have people all over the world who are known for stealing ideas. We have people who are always waiting for innovators to create something, and then they take it, they put their name on it, and they steal it, and then it's no longer yours. It belongs to them.
Ownership and greatness.
Welcome back to the Ownership and Greatness Show. I'm your host, Joe Chege. I'm glad to have you here today. And today we're going to be breaking down a story about an amazing techpreneur, someone who's transforming the livelihoods of a lot of people in Africa by the use of innovation and technology and free energy. When we say free energy, we mean free energy which is clean, and it's a one-of-a-kind technology that I feel like nobody's talking about. And I've searched on the interwebs, and I feel like his story is not highlighted as it should. And I guess it's because he's an African techpreneur, and most of the time it seems like nothing good comes out of that continent, which in reality is a lie, because we have great innovators, we have great entrepreneurs who are creating technologies, who are creating brands that are taking over the world. So I felt like this is the best moment to be able to highlight the story of none other than Mr. Maxwell Chikumbutso. He is a mogul and techpreneur of a company by the name of Saith Technology in Zimbabwe. The reason why I decided to highlight his story is because when we talk about revolutionary ideas or revolutionary inventions that are going to transform and change the way we live, he has just done that. I feel like he finalized what Nicola Tesla started, and he has been able to achieve so much success by creating technology using radio frequency. His story goes that he started playing with gadgets and dabbling here and there, trying to innovate at an early age, and his first inventions was a radio station, like a radio frequency, and he was able to broadcast frequencies around his neighborhood, which was illegal, but he nonetheless, him being a high school dropout and being fascinated by technology did not stop him from creating. So he would go around his community and gather scraps and metals and resources that were available for him, and he would put them all together and create something. So at an early age, he was able to create a radio frequency station, and just being able to do that was an inspiration for him to continue creating and doing what is necessary. So mind you, you're a high school dropout, you don't even have the necessary, like I would say, technology education that you deserve. But because he was hungry, because he really yearned to create, he went out of his way to teach himself how to do stuff. And fast forward to a few years later, he, by the grace of God, because he says that all the ideas that he have, God has been using him, God has been showing him through his dreams, which is what he's been saying. So from that, he was able to start tapping into like different, I would say, technologies, coming up with ideas, trying them out. But finally, I guess with time, the ideas were able to pay back, like the ideas were able to come into fruition, and he was able to create a technology using radio frequency, a car. One of his major technologies, or one of his major inventions that I feel like are not being talked about. But if you go on social media and just look for Maxwell Chikumbutso or the Saith Technology Group, you'll be able to see a lot of his inventions. I'm going to play some of the video clips from their website, and you'll be able to see the amount of work that they're putting out there. And I feel like it's good to always highlight such entrepreneurs. It's always good to highlight people who are actually out here doing amazing stuff, because it's more of a motivation to the younger generation, for the new kids coming up, because once they see this, it empowers them and motivates them to go out there and be innovators, because I believe innovation is everywhere. And for the longest time, African has always been neglected when it comes to innovation and creativity. And we don't even shine a light on such creators. We don't shine a light on entrepreneurs from other walks of life, from other third world countries. We only focus on the first world. And this has to change, because right now the world is a global village. I'm able to go on my phone and research something about someone who's in India, research something about someone who's in Bangladesh, research something about something about a person who's in Jamaica. Like, if I post something right now, people are able to get the information all over the world. And with these type of resources, it's always good to highlight the stories of great people who are transforming the lives of people all over the world. Now, the reason why I had to highlight his story is because he just created, just the other day, he launched a TV set that doesn't use any electricity. It's not powered by electricity, it's not powered by solar energy, but it's powered by radio frequency. Recently, Mr. Maxwell came up with this radio frequency construction. It's a box, not that big, that is actually installed at the back of your TV, no matter the size, and you're able to use the TV anywhere in the world. You don't need to be plugged into to a power grid. You don't need to be plugged into a solar energy power, but it runs itself using radio frequency. And for those who've done enough research, you understand what Nicola Tesla was working on when it comes to being able to harness power using radio frequencies. It's one of like his greatest inventions that he was working on before he died. And I guess the technology never came out. He had some issues. He didn't have enough funding. There was so much going on with people stealing his ideas, and this is what I feel this gentleman or this techpreneur was able to accomplish. But the challenge is, in as much as he's doing these great things, he's facing challenges from all over. There are stories about Mr. Maxwell being threatened by, you guess, the oligarchy, the big people who run the energy sector all over the world. As you know, like, being able to create such a thing is going to disrupt the industry. It's going to disrupt the technological industry. And you already know we have big players who are always gaining from such technologies. You have people who make big money from the electricity industry. And I guess whenever someone comes with something that's going to transform and change the things, you definitely expect things are not going to go easy. But I like his resilience. He's always outspoken. He's speaking about the time that he was poisoned, but he was able to recover and figure out ways of doing things. He actually started in Zimbabwe, and then he got a sponsorship and came to the States and was able to tap in with great minds. But the challenge there is, all these technologies that he's creating, it's hard for him to get the technology patented so that it can actually belong to him. He's finding hurdles here and there of people not agreeing with or people who want to actually kind of like understand how he was able to do that. And if you understand intellectual property, if you have something, if you have a technology that you feel like that's your idea, that's your source, you don't want to put your source out there, because, you know, we have people all over the world who are known for stealing ideas. We have people who are always waiting for innovators to create something, and then they take it, they put their name on it, and they steal it, and then it's no longer yours, it belongs to them. We've all had stories of people who've innovated ideas, who've came up with life-changing ideas and technologies, and guess what? Because they didn't have enough resources to patent the ideas, someone who had money came and stole the idea and changed it, and then at the end of it all, they're left with nothing. And that's frustrating, especially for creators, especially for innovators. And I believe in this time and era, it's always good to make sure you protect your patent. And a smart thing that he's doing, he's always highlighting the challenges is going on and making sure he's documenting it on social media, making sure it's out there so that when people see it, they can be able to trace it back to him, which is a smart idea. So I believe intellectual property is necessary whenever you're creating. But I just wanted to shine a spotlight on Mr. Maxwell Chikumbutso, because this is something that can actually help the world at large. And not only the TV contraption, he was able to create a car that runs on the same technology that doesn't need any fuel. Like, it has these batteries that keep on charging in perpetuity, like the way Tesla has his. Instead of recharging the batteries like the way you do for a Tesla car, his innovation is different, because once you start driving, the car recharges itself. You don't have to fuel, you don't have to go to a charging point, an EV charging dock and charge your car. You don't have to do none of that. And I'm like, I was asking myself, why are we not hearing about all this technology? But I guess you can guess the answer. We already know that's already a big thing, and a lot of people are gonna fight his idea. But I felt like it was necessary to be able to just shine a light. If I'm able to do that, and then somebody else is able to highlight his story, most probably, maybe he's gonna be able to get the necessary resources to be able to do this and be able to spread this information and use the technology to transform the people's life, especially now when we have all the gas prices up there because of wars and all this stuff. Think about it. If we all had cars that are run by this type of technology, we wouldn't be stressed about the gas prices. We'll be able to do our businesses, we'll be able to power our homes with this type of technology. And he has examples of houses that he has been able to power using the same technology with these energy free, like it's not like power station. They look like generators, but they're units which use the same technology. They are noiseless. He showed a nice home that he has built, and it's fully powered by the same technology. So you can imagine in a village in Africa where there's no power grid, where there's no power connection, instead of using solar, he was able to use his technology, and they actually laid the whole system in a house. And you can see it, like he has a video where you can actually see it, and I'm gonna put it here so you guys can see. He has this home that is fully powered by that technology. The good thing is, once you set it up, that's it. You forget about your power bills, you forget about your solar bills or anything that you need. The only thing that you're going to focus on is just the maintenance part of it. So I was wondering, why don't we get to hear about this type of technology? If humanity really cares about the people, if we really want to advance the world, if we want to advance the people of the world by being able to make sure everybody's connected to the power grid, everybody's able to get the necessary resources, the world can be a better place, because we are all going to be able to do so much using the minimum resources that we have. So I salute him. I just want to celebrate him because of what he's doing. I believe there is a huge population all around the world that is not connected to the power grid. And that's where we have alternatives like the solar energy. We have alternatives like the windmill power, hydropower. But if we are able to use the government resources that African nations have, like bring all the leaders together to support such an idea, we might be able to connect the globe easier. And I guess it's cheaper compared to other ways of doing it. It's just a matter of like being able to support Mr. Maxwell, being able to come together and bring minds together to be able to see how this technology can be used to connect the world to electricity. And this is green energy, zero emission. And when you think about it, it actually helps with the global warming initiative. So instead of using electricity, instead of burning or using oil, gas, instead of using natural resources, instead of using electricity and burning all this energy, why can't we resort to using such technology? So this is just a question, and I feel like it's good for all my listeners, for the people who are watching on YouTube. Do yourself a favor and just go out there and research about Mr. Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's a techpreneur from Zimbabwe, and research more about the Saith technology group. Research more about them. Look for learn more about it for yourself. See what they're doing, and I guess you're gonna be fascinated the same way I'm fascinated. And hopefully, I believe that when we highlight his story, when more people learn about it, then something great might come out of it. My biggest prayer is that may God protect him, because he's all, like he said the other day, he put a post saying that he's facing threats from all over the world, like people threatening him, threatening his family, like going hard on him on social media, just trying to demoralize him. And I'm like, you know what? Challenges are always gonna be there for any great idea. They always say, if you have an idea and you have all the resources, then that's not a great idea. But whenever you have an idea and you're facing challenges from right, left, and center, then that is a great idea, and it's gonna be able to blow up and become great. So I believe and I pray that the leaders of his country are going to be able to protect him. They're going to be able to stand with him. They're going to be able to support him with all the necessary things that he needs to be able to blow up the idea, be able to take that idea to the next level. I believe if the world is able to tap into such technology on a wider scale, I believe we are gonna be able to have a better world. Like, it's gonna be easy for people to connect to the internet. It's gonna be easy for people to have villages powered with electricity, for kids to be able to study at night. They don't have to worry about using paraffin lamps, or even using, I would say, kerosene lamps, or even just using firewood, because we have communities in the world that don't have all these resources. So I believe this is something that we should look into. Check out, I'm gonna make sure I leave a link of his website and all his social media handles, so that you guys can follow, you guys can research more about him. But this is a great story that I felt was necessary to be highlighted. The story about the techpreneur who's transforming the world, Mr. Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's doing an amazing job, and I'm super proud of what he's doing. So let's dive in more. Do your research. I would say check out the story and let me know what you think in the comment below. But I felt like it was necessary for us to spotlight his greatness, because this is the Ownership and Greatness Show, and he's actually doing what we're always advocating for. All right, until next time, peace and blessing. I'm your host, Joe Chege. And for those who haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel. Leave us a review on all our podcast platform, and we appreciate that. Peace and blessing. See you next time. Love you all.
Ownership and Greatness.